Somerville is our number 5.
Birch Creek unit.
Yes, and it was a nice park. I liked it. The girls liked being able to swim. The trees were beautiful. Daisy loved swimming. She loved the waves that would come in, and she'd bark at them and chase them, and she had a good time. Insects there. The grasshopper. I had a grasshopper friend, if you see in the video. I actually got to hang out for quite a while with that grasshopper, and that was pretty awesome.
She like could not get rid of him. Like on her finger, like, I'm hanging out with you.
Yeah.
That park was a bit tough for me because it was so humid. I was struggling in the mornings. It was so muggy that I was having a hard time breathing, honestly. So if you have issues with humidity, I wouldn't say that all the sites there were a problem, but where we were at, the brush was really thick, and so almost no wind could get in where we were at. So we would wake up, this was late June, and it would just be so humid. I couldn't use a lot of the lenses that I have for my phone because I could not get them clean. They were constantly fogged up. That's how humid it was. So if it hadn't been for the amount of fun we had on the lake, I don't think I would have enjoyed that place. But the setup, the way that the trees covered the beach area, that's not everywhere, but the spot we found, it was almost like the trees made a natural cabana for us to hang out in and go swimming.
It was perfect.
And that really turned the whole camping trip around for us.
Summertime, being able to go swim, finding that little spot in the trees, to me that was enjoyable. One
of the things that we've learned is, even if you've got an RV, if it's going to be in the 100 degrees outside, the RV isn't necessarily going to be as cool as you would hope it would on a summer afternoon. So we find that it is good to go camping where there's some kind of water feature. Something that you can get in the water and stay cool in that hot afternoon. And then you can go back to your RV and, hopefully the AC's gotten it cooled down enough to be comfortable as it's getting dark out.
And it's nice to be able to go drive around also.
That's another thing that we've done in the past is when it's so hot, it's miserable. We've got a hobby of we like to try to drive around on every highway in Texas. So we'll go and plot out. And it's like, okay, let's see what highways and small towns are around our campsite and just hang out in the AC of the truck and drive around for a little bit. But Enchanted Rock State Natural Area is number 4 on our list of top 5. And I was thinking about it. I was chatting with some people in the comments of the video, and there were downsides, obviously, like having to use the porta potties, not being able to use the bathrooms. I would say that the awesome trails and the awesome views there kind of made up for what we were missing out on. The fact that we couldn't take the RV. I felt like it's really something to see. I think anybody that comes to Texas should try to get to Enchanted Rock to just see it. You don't have to hike it. If you do, that's a bonus, but just being at the bottom and seeing it was amazing. All those massive boulders everywhere.
Yeah. And the porta potties there were very clean, and that was thanks to the park host. They cleaned it like twice a day, and they actually came and had them actually cleaned out every 3 days.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I was surprised, but it was great. And they had the hand sanitizer outside, so you just, when you're done, you go hand sanitize.
As busy as that park was, those porta potties never stank.
Well, I don't know. I never breathe in porta potties, so Let's
just say I walked in and I expected it to reek, to be awful, and it wasn't. It was not unpleasant at all. They did a great job with those. Those park hosts, they were really nice.
Yeah, they were.
Very nice. They came and chatted with us. In fact, they found out we have a channel, and they went back and they said, "Yeah, we watched some of your videos last night." I'm like, "But you said you didn't have internet."
Oh yeah, the internet was not there.
Yeah, there's no internet there. Most of our state parks we've been to, there's not been internet. No. Then it's close to Fredericksburg, depending on how long you're there.
We got to drive through there. That was fun.
Fredericksburg was popping.
Oh, it was. Yes.
The crowds, like, I would have liked to have tried one of those German restaurants in downtown Fredericksburg, but it's peak Corona season.
Yeah.
And so I mean, yeah, the people are wearing their masks, but that was a lot of people.
I like Enchanted Rock.
How come?
Because I was climbing the rock.
Did you like Enchanted Rock?
Digging around the dirt.
What about climbing up on top of the rock?
Nope. Just kidding. I like it, except the part when I started to slip down.
That scared you when you were slipping?
I was so heavy, I couldn't go up.
What about climbing on some of the smaller rocks?
Number 3 is Palmetto State Park. Where is it?
It's in Texas.
Palmetto State Park, wherever that is.
It's Palmetto State Park is just south of Luling and north of Gonzales.
Okay.
It's very clear.
Very clear.
It's very close to the original Big Buc-ee's on I-10 between San Antonio and Houston. It was just south of that Buc-ee's.
Okay. Palmetto was nice. The time of year that we went, I think it was February 2020, was cold. It was too cold for me. I think I would like to go back and try again. Maybe a little warmer.
We learned a lot of lessons on that trip about dealing with cold weather, how to better set up so that we can all be happier.
Right. And that's why we're making the videos. We're learning and we're sharing. We want to share our experiences with other people because camping is fun. I enjoy camping. I would like to go back to Palmetto in a warmer month, and I would actually like to go do more hiking and do the trails and stuff because it looked like a lot of fun, except the watch for snakes part.
There's a lot of swamps there. I think that's probably what's going on with the snakes.
Yeah. Well, they didn't report of seeing any snakes, so maybe.
Maybe because we were there in the colder months.
So yeah,
there's benefits.
we're gonna have to think about this.
Well, the other thing too is when I think of Palmetto, I think of a swampy area. I think of a lot of bugs, a lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And
so
I
when
think
it's warmer, it probably has a lot of snakes.
I think when I scheduled and planned that one out in the colder months, I was thinking it'd be nice to be in a swampy climate when it's cold out.
Okay.
So that's why I planned for that.
Well, maybe we'll do better in a colder month.
Well, hey, we got our big metal tent now and wheels that has a heater and an air conditioner.
Yeah.
So maybe we should try that out. Like we stayed on one side of
Yeah,
Palmetto, now we should go back and
see?
stay on the other side of Palmetto.
See, he's brilliant. He gets to. That's our next trip.
But it ranked at number 3. If you think about that, we had fun. Even though we got off to a rough, cold start the first night, we really enjoyed the park. There was a lot of uniqueness to it.
Yes.
From the swamps and the plants. That strange little instance where those birds' eggs were in a nest on the ground next to a tree. We never really got a full answer on what bird they suspect laid those eggs. It was like, that's so cool. The San Marcos River running right through there, along with that path that goes down right over the water.
That was awesome.
That really was very cool. And then the CCC buildings, I felt, we see a lot of them, but the one, especially that main gathering building, was really cool, really different. It had a different feel to it.
Yeah, we took a lot of great pictures there.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's number 3, but I mean, it was really nice.
The playground right by the campground.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, if we stay in a different spot, it would be different. But our campsite was right next to the playground.
Yes.
So there was like a wood fence right there. It was still a good amount of area. It was a decent little walk over to the playground. But we could stay there by the tent and look over at the playground and see the girls playing. So.
And it wasn't in the video, but at night I was woken up by some owls that sounded like monkeys, and I do have a clip of that. We might have to.
That's really weird. I thought I put that in the video,
It's
but
not
we
in
just
the
watched the
video.
video and I don't think it's in there.
But that is the camping trip that made me want to buy a wildlife camera, and I did, and I would like to go back just to try to capture the monkey owls.
Oh, there was a lot that was going on there, from that to the pigs.
Yeah, the boars. There was, yeah.
One of the park hosts said that there was She tried to leave that park one time, and there was like, I think she counted like 52 wild boars crossing the road, and she had to stop. She couldn't just plow through them unless she'd hurt them all. So
it was very unique. Very unique. We like Palmetto.
Yep.
Lost Maples is number 2. We really liked it. I liked the fact that it was in the hill country. I liked how secluded it was. I enjoyed all of the birds, like the hummingbird, watching the crow, like trying to be sly.
The crow was a pest, but at the same time it was entertaining.
Yes, because we didn't really have anything else. There was no internet. The water was beautiful. The sounds, nature sounds were amazing.
Yep.
Lost Maples, that's one of my favorites. Yes, definitely.
Yep, Lost Maples was a lot of fun. The water was great. I've heard it's not always that great, but we got there at a good time.
Yeah.
The water passing through the trails was really neat. Like on multiple occasions, Tanya and Kira didn't go back as far as Kaylin and I did. We had to cross over the river, I think, like 5 times. It was challenging. It was exciting. It was fun. There's still so much trails we didn't even hit out there. They've got camping spots way up in the hills you can hike into. I haven't even seen them. They were so far back. The ability to swim in the Sabinal River right there by the entrance.
That was awesome.
The water was nice and clear. The girls really enjoyed that. Daisy got in the water a little bit. We weren't there when the leaves were changing color, but it was beautiful. I mean, everything was very green, blended in with all the hills. And I would say that was our first time really seeing I don't think we'd ever been that deep in the Texas Hill Country before that trip. So that was really impressive, seeing just how big the hills were back there.
Yeah, just getting there was very scenic. I loved it.
So we like Lost Maples. I'd say it held, we were saying it was our number 1 until we got to our number 1. And that changed our minds.
Yes. But Lost Maples is up there.
Lost Maples at number 2.
Number 2.
For 2020. By the way, quick shout out. The decoration overhead here, this decoration right there, we won as a prize from the YouTube channel The Art of RVing. They just did a random drawing on one of their live streams and so happened to pick Texas Family Camping, and they sent us this. They also sent stickers of like Gus and their channel and a signed picture from Gus that said, "Don't talk to me!" And get a kick out. I think The Art of RVing was one of the first live streams I went to, and they had a puppet that I think it's pretty funny. So also just to point out, we're not saying that these are the top 5 campsites in Texas. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is these were our 5 favorite campouts that we'd had this year.
For 2020.
And we omitted things like we had gone camping on our friend's private property because we're trying to entice y'all to go to some of these places, and obviously we cannot entice you to go to our friend's private property. So we excluded that one because the girls wanted to vote for that as one of their favorite campouts. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you where that's at. Kickapoo Cavern State Park came in as our number 1.
I loved how spaced out it was. We had a lot of space. We were at was it ADA? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, I think all the RV sites there were ADA.
Okay.
They didn't have a lot. There's maybe like 5 or 6 RV sites, and I think they were all ADA.
But it was very spacious, and it was perfect. I loved the fact that we were able to see the Milky Way at night. That was amazing. just having that clear view like that was awesome. It was very quiet. The bathrooms were nice.
It was really great that we had the full hookup. Even though we were so remote, they didn't even have a dumpster for you to put your trash. You have to take your trash with you, but they did have full hookups. So the Kickapoo Cavern was really neat. We didn't get to go into the cavern, but that didn't stop us from enjoying it. They only give tours of the cavern on Saturdays when it's open, and due to the lockdown, they were not doing any tours of that cavern. The one that you saw in our video, that was the Stewart Bat Cave, which is like a 1,300 foot long. How can you go down that drop? But we were pretty in awe just how big the opening was. I was saying it felt like a dragon could have crawled out of that hole. It was so big.
Yeah.
But it was very remote. That was one of the first times too. We were, I think, over 20 miles away from any towns, and we had everything we needed. We were good. We were set, and we didn't even leave the park. We were able to stay there the whole time. Didn't have to go get anything, and we had so much space we could run around. I mean, really run around.
Yes, we had fun playing games, and it was awesome.
If it wasn't for rabies, I would have tried to pet an armadillo.
A lot of these trips, I'm able to take my art and do my art outside.
Yep, she'll get set up on a fold-up table and do a paint pour or resin pour or whatever you're working on.
Make molds.
Yep.
My favorite thing about Kickapoo Caverns is the Milky Way, how it was so fun, and the stink.
The stink? The stinky bat cave?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah.
That's funny. So what did you like about Kickapoo Caverns?
Milky Way.
Milky Way? Alright, so that's our list. Top 5 favorite campouts of 2020. We're going to... It's difficult to do this, but we're going to try not to hit any of the same parks next year. And that's tough because we get to some of these parks and we're like, I love that park. I want to go back here. But Texas has so many, and our goal in Texas Family Camping is to try them all out. We've already got quite a few scheduled for the first 5 months of 2021.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming along on this journey with us.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate all of you.
Yes. We pray that you all have a great 2021.
I hope we can get out of a lockdown.
Yes.
I mean, I'll keep on camping, but it would be nice to be able to go into the store without a mask on.
Yeah, no masks.
Although we had a lot of fun with masks. Well,
Yeah,
I
you
did.
did. That was funny.
Give us a thumbs up on the video. We'd greatly appreciate it. That helps us out.
Happy camping, y'all.
Happy camping, y'all.
Happy camping, y'all.
Myself some enchiladas here, and some beans and some rice. Yummy, except I get gassy. Okay, you know, I've got something to do here. I don't like to do it, but it's something that you might like to do. Hey, is that microphone on?